Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Just taking a bit of a afternoon walk. It's a Sunday and went to a friend of mine's housewarming last night, so a little bit worse for wear today. But just wanted to keep the consistency going and continue to do videos for you on a daily basis. So it's a little bit windy here, so I might head back to the car and finish this off. But before I do, really loving all of the support I've been getting in the last few videos. I think the last video I uploaded yesterday to almost 600 views in like 12 hours, which is more than I think the last 5 or so in a row that have been up for like 4 or 5 days. So that's really cool. Really stoked on that. And the bulls seem to be, yeah, it's definitely getting a bit windy. The bulls seem to be back out because BTC's at $18,850 something right now, with ETH at $560 odd. So really positive stuff there. Given that it's a weekend globally and the bulls have still been pushing it up, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. And I was reading a few different articles, and one of them, which I'll put the graph up on the screen. It basically says that there's billions of people around the world who have already experienced the ATH of BTC, or well and truly above. And the reason being is because they're in hyperinflation, or in currencies or governments that are controlling currencies that are constantly printing money, to the point where, like Venezuela for example, that's one of the countries, the point where it's more valuable to use banknotes to make arts and crafts from, because it is just so worthless. So I'll probably just jump back into the car. Today's video is going to be short and sweet because I want to get home to the family and spend some time with them. But yeah, we'll jump back in the car and get out of the wind. Yeah, so the graph on the screen, you can see for billions of people, especially in Argentina, the Argentinian peso, the ATH is well and truly above where it was at around the $30,000 USD mark, as well as the Turkish lira, the Brazilian real, the Venezuela bolivia, South African rand, Nigerian naira, Russian rupiah, the Indian rupee. So what this graph basically means is that all these countries, because their currency is inflating so much so quickly, because they're printing so much money and stimulating the economy so much, that compared to the world default currency, which is USD, BTC is actually priced in a lot higher at current prices, based on how inflated their currency is just in the last 3 years. Because this graph starts the 1st of the 1st 17 and goes to the 7th of the 1st 20, which is July this year. So this is probably even higher than here, and this is a graph from Pantera Capital. If you haven't followed or written any Pantera articles before, definitely go and give them a read. They're really high quality articles. They're fun, so they're constantly doing research and analysis. The next graph that we've got is Bitcoin held on exchanges. So you've seen that January 17 to December 2017, you'll see that the amount of Bitcoin held on spot exchanges has been slowly on the incline. And you'll see that now, as of January 2020, down to the end of 2020, where we're at right now, you'll see that the amount of BTC that's been held on exchanges is going lower and lower by the month. And the reason being is we're seeing more people are storing their own cryptocurrency themselves. They're in this for the long term. They don't want exchanges to be holding it. They know that exchanges get hacked, as they tend to get hacked every quarter, and they know that they can, by holding themselves, they're in control of their financial destiny. So this is another really good chart, really good sign to see where the market is moving. This next chart is another really interesting one, and it shows you over the last 5 or 6 years that in December it's been Bitcoin's dominance has gone down, which means alts are starting to bump up. So this has been a historical theme for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's definitely happening this year as well. So you'll start to see alts kind of pop here and there It's definitely no moonshot month like it has been in years before. So I put that on the screen right now. You'll see December 2016, Bitcoin dominance was like 94% and it dropped down. And towards May, it dropped down to like 70, 72. September 2017, it dropped down to like 50s, 52, and then went back up towards the start of 2018. And then December 2017, just before 2018, it was at the highest dominance, which was around 72%, and that dropped all the way down to almost 36% in about early January 2018. And you can see this is consistent across every single year for the last 5 years. And it's starting to happen now as of December 2020. So Bitcoin dominance could potentially go down to 45, 46% and then start to bump back up, which is going to give some love to the alts, which between now and May, we should start to see alts start to have a mini run as the start of the bull cycle happens. The next two charts are really, really interesting as well. And this is another example of mass adoption globally. So the first one you can see from Coinmetrics is addresses with a balance of $10 or more. And this has grown from 2016 to being just over 1 million addresses to being over 18 million addresses. So in 4 years, it's gone 18x. In the amount of people holding it. So that's $10 or more. 18 million people hold BTC, which when you think about it, if there's 18 million addresses holding BTC, that is only just about the amount of BTC that has been mined right now. So if one person had every single one of those addresses, there's only 18 million people in the world that have BTC. Obviously, some of them are exchanges. Some people might have 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 different Bitcoin addresses. It all depends on your strategy. So yeah, that's something to really think about. Really, really powerful there. And then to go hand in hand with that is the number of addresses holding equal to or greater than 1 BTC. From 2009, it was probably about 20,000 people to 2020, which is just under 800,000 people, which again, 1 BTC, if you think about every single address holding at least 1 BTC, that means there's under 800,000 people in the world holding 1 or more BTC, which if you think you're not early, like there's 7 or 8, I'm sure in the comments I'll be corrected, billion people in the world, and that number is growing exponentially, and there's only 800,000 people that have 1 BTC or more. I don't know about you guys, but I may be hungover, but I am super excited at the thought of that. The prospect of being a 1 in 800,000 people, that is like lottery numbers there, guys. That is absolutely phenomenal. And as you would have seen, a couple of the graphs that I put on the screen in this video, they're from a company called Glassnode, and I'll throw a few more here. One really interesting thing that Glassnode is predicting is, and I should say the CTO of Glassnode is predicting, that BTC price will rise 10x from here as a minimum. So Glassnode's Raphael Schwarzkraft, hopefully I'm not butchering his name, he has shared several on-chain metrics that he believes suggest Bitcoin will comfortably charge into the 6-figure price thresholds into the future. The chief technical officer of crypto market data aggregator Glassnode has described a slew of BTC market indicators as extremely insanely bullish, and predicted prices are set to increase by more than 10x. So this all happened in a tweet on December 9th, and he basically did a big thread, which I'll link to this thread below, providing the basis for his ultra optimistic prediction, presenting 6 of the most important on-chain market indicators that are currently hovering at the same levels that they were at the start of 2017. So each of his predictions or estimates see Bitcoin breaking into the 6 figures, with all but one suggesting that BTC will exceed 200,000. For each of the indicators, Schwarzkraft measured that the gains produced when the metric moved from similar positions in 2017 until it posed an all-time high later this year. He then multiplied Bitcoin's current price by the same percentage increase. So he also noted that Bitcoin's net unrealized profit / loss, or NUPL, the difference between the unrealized gains and losses based on the coins last moved on-chain, has climbed back up to 78% of its 2017 ATH. Bitcoin's price gained 1,400% to its peak as the NUPL ascended from its current level to all-time highs in 2017. If the same scenario played out, Kraft estimates that Bitcoin's price would reach $286,000 this cycle, and BTC's market cap to thermocap ratio, which assesses Bitcoin's price premium relative to the miner expenditure, is currently sitting at just 1/4 of its 2017 high. In 2017, Bitcoin's price gained 625% as the metric rose to all-time highs, suggesting that BTC could tag $138,000 in the future. Bitcoin's MVRV Z-score, which seeks to identify when Bitcoin is over/undervalued relative to its fair value, currently sits at 34% of its 2017 top, the ascent to which accompanied a 1,150% price gain. Should BTC rally with the same strength as 2017, Kraft estimates Bitcoin will be worth $248 each BTC. To all of those 800,000 people, that is a lot of very wealthy people. Kraft identified that metrics looking at a longer-term hodler behavior suggested even higher price targets. Long-term hodler MVRV, which is the average profit or loss of all BTC currently circulating, and long-term holder SOPR, which is Bitcoin's overall profit and loss according to when each coin was last moved on-chain, are sitting at just 13% of their record highs. With the price of Bitcoin having gained 1,340% and 1,620% alongside these metrics in 2017, Kraft predicts that crypto could tag $274,000 or $328,000 in the future. Reverse risk, which is used to assess the confidence of long-term holders relative to Bitcoin's price, also suggests coming price highs of $240,000 with the metric currently at only 11% of its former high. However, Kraft urges followers to take the numbers with a grain of salt, which, as I said and have said multiple times, these are just people's predictions. These guys are experts, they're looking at the data, but anything could happen. It could go even further up higher than what they're suggesting. It could sit at the same amount that it is right now, or it could even potentially go down from where we are. What this aims to show is that BTC cycle indicators are still far away from their values that indicated a BTC top in 2017. Glassnode's December 8 weekly on-chain data report found that Bitcoin is likely to retrace before rallying into new all-time highs as investors look to realize profits made during the run-up to the recent retest of $20,000. And he's quoted stating, "Sideways or downwards price movement can be expected as they realize these profits. Despite warning of bearish pressure from short-term profit takers, the report concludes that Bitcoin's long-term outlook is very bullish." So you've heard it from the horse's mouth. You've heard it again and again from me. We are in a very, very special time right now. A time to accumulate, to educate, and to make sure that you are calm, cool, and collected, and to just wait it out, to just be patient. And as I've said before, the reality is that profit taking will happen. There will be people realizing profits. There'll be people who have spent, the $20,000 BTC that we nearly had in 2017, and they've had the brass balls to hold on long enough to be able to hold that BTC to right now, that are selling and breaking even. There's also a lot of people that bought at the $3,000 mark, like we mentioned in our newsletter, was a good time to buy last year. There's also people that bought at the $5, $8, $10, $12, $15,000 mark that's looking to realize profits. So the reality is there's definitely going to be negative price movement in coming months. And I don't know about you, but I'm personally going to be using those negative price movements to continue to accumulate and add more to my holdings. So if you like this video and you got value from what I'm talking about today, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I'll be making these videos for you tomorrow, every day, as I've got a commitment, which I haven't really shared about. A good friend of mine on Facebook, and in the real world, I should say, Adil, posted a really interesting statistic. As we know, 98% of statistics are made up on the spot, but he said that it takes 66 days to solidify a habit. So I'm like 12 days into creating videos. I actually really enjoy creating videos, and I haven't been doing it for quite some time because of a number of different things that I've talked about before, but I feel like I'm back, I'm better than ever, and I'm really enjoying this. So I'm going to continue to make videos. My goal is to hit 66 days, so it gets to the point where it just becomes second nature to incorporate this into my day. So yeah, really appreciate all the feedback and everything that I've been getting from you guys. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this video is sponsored by BlockFi. If you haven't signed up below, I'll give you a quick tutorial or quick overview on BlockFi and how you can get started. You've got the ability to put your crypto to work with BlockFi and earn up to 8.6% per annum with your interest account. Now, if you sign up today, you get up to a $250 crypto bonus with a deposit of $25 or more. This is really cool. If you're wanting to earn some interest on your cryptocurrency or just get some more crypto, this is a great way to do this. I also mentioned if you are looking to borrow against your cryptocurrency, they allow you to do that. They charge you a very low interest rate of 4.5%. They will lend up to 50% of your cryptocurrency. So if you got $10,000, they will lend you up to $5,000 at a 4.5% interest rate, which is essentially in Australia what you are paying for a mortgage for a house, which is just absolutely crazy. And the loan is for 12 months. They're also backed by some of the biggest names in cryptocurrency: Morgan Creek Capital Management, Coinbase Ventures, Galaxy Digital, the Winklevoss Capital, and a few other ones that I can't pronounce. And if you haven't got your Crypto.com account and Visa debit card to take advantage of price action as well as profits when the bull market is fully engaged in this cryptocurrency market, please go to the link below, click the link and get your Crypto.com card. You also get $25 USD in free crypto for doing that. If you have any other questions, please leave them below. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure making these videos for you, and I will see you tomorrow.